Greetings, I'm Carly. Talking about your faith is something that is really important and also really personal. Proclaiming isn't just reading the Bible and saying those exact words. Who you are is also a part of what you talk about because your story is important too. In today's Bible story, we meet Timothy. Timothy was someone who proclaimed, and he was mentored by Paul. His story was an important part of his faith. You see, Timothy was taught by his grandmother Lois and his mother Eunice. These powerful women in his life taught him about God and God's love, and they were an important part in his faith story. As a community of faith, we all get to learn from one another. Who teaches you about the Bible? And what are you excited to talk about and tell others? Sharing your faith out loud is an important practice that we do together. When we learn from each other, we grow because there's so much more we can learn together than alone. One of my favorite things that I have learned is how to sew. My grandmother loves to sew and created all my mom's clothes when she was growing up. When my mom was old enough, my grandmother taught her. My mom didn't like making clothes, but she loved to make blankets and sheets for beds. She learned how to sew from my grandmother, and then she got to make her own things with it. Both my mom and grandmother also sewed things to give away to help people in need. Now my mom is teaching me to sew, and I like helping people with my sewing too. I really like making pillowcases from colorful prints, and now I'm teaching my brother what I'm learning. Wonder is about experiencing the gift of learning from others, and then choosing what we want to do with it. The more we experience and learn, the more we can proclaim and talk about our faith in new ways. Timothy learned about God from his grandmother and mother, and then chose to share with all those he had met. I proclaim by talking to my friends about sewing with my family and telling them that we make things for people who are in need. That's one way we show God's love. It's how I share about my faith. How do you share yours? Now, it's time for you to wonder.